Hi, boys and girls. Today you're going to be editing and publishing your work that you did yesterday. So you should have written your review on your favorite video game or board game. Now, you should be able to see at least 3 really good, juicy paragraphs in there. What do I mean by juicy? I mean, I want lots of information. So if you found that you've only written 3 sentences in each paragraph, then you need to expand your sentences and write some more. Okay, so you might need to explain how or why that may occur, or add another sentence explaining how the game works. Okay, you might also need to explain your opinion a little bit more. What we're going to be doing today with our information from our review, we are going to edit. So we are doing editing and recrafting. Now, remember, there's a difference between editing and recrafting. When we edit, we're looking at things like punctuation and spelling. When we are recrafting, we are looking at things like, can we make our writing even more exciting than what it is? So can we use more interesting words, or can we extend our writing by adding in more sentences, and does our sentences make sense? So I've created a checklist for you. This is what I want you to look at when you are editing your writing today. So firstly, for punctuation, I want you to firstly check for full stops, capital letters are in the correct place. I also, if you've used any commas, or you might even need to add some commas in, depending on how long your sentence is, have you used those commas appropriately? And also, does your title stand out? Now, that's something more so when we are doing our publishing, which you're also going to be doing today. For spelling, obviously, we're just looking at words that are spelt incorrectly. So if you notice there's a word that you're not really sure if that's spelt correctly or not, I want you to put a squiggly line underneath it and look up how to spell that word correctly. You might even want mum or dad to just double check your spelling just to make sure that your spelling is correct. The next thing, so that's all our editing that we were going to be doing. Our recrafting, so your checklist for recrafting is, can you swap some boring words to make them better? So remember, you can use a thesaurus for that. And you can even type the words in into Google and say, so that word, and then put synonym next to it, and it'll come up with a list of really interesting good words that you could replace with the word that you had. Then lastly, I want you to look at your sentences. Does every sentence make sense? And then the way you can check that is by reading your review out loud to a sibling or to your mum and dad, and make sure you read every single word that's on your page. You might find that you might accidentally add words in as you read them. So just be mindful that you're watching. If you're adding words in as you're talking, you need to add those words into your writing as well. And have you written everything down to the best of your ability on your topic? So that means that you are able to expand your knowledge, like what we spoke about earlier in this video. After you have edited and recrafted, we get to do the exciting and creative side of today. You may present your review in any form that you like. So you could do it as a newspaper article. Well, lots of newspapers have reviews on things like concerts or dance performances or movies or food. So if you want to present your review like it was in the newspaper, you can. You could make it look interesting by spreading the information out and having little bubbles for each of your paragraphs. I know this one says a book review, but you could also do it for a game review as well. You might like just to type it out in on a Google form, and that's fine too, but maybe add some pictures to make it a little bit more interesting. You could also use Google Slides, but again, if you're going to use Google Slides, make sure you're using things like color. You're making sure that you've got interesting fonts and writing, and making your titles stand out, and have some pictures to go along with that. And lastly, you could also, and this is just another option, use Pic Collage. So you can see how people have used some photos, some stickers to create their review. If you'd also like to do a poster, you could also do a poster as well. Okay, so lots of things to do today. We need to edit our work. We need to recraft our work, making sure that we have enough information in our review, and then we need to publish our work. So big day today, but I'm sure you'll get through it quite quickly. Okay, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments section.